What's up everyone? In this video we're going to create a Fortnite player stats website. We're going to pass in the Epic username, the platform they are on, and then we're going to get back all their stats. We're going to display the lifetime stats, solos, duos, and squad stats, and we're going to use the Fortnite font so we get that nice Fortnite feel to our website. First thing we need to do is we need to go to fortnitetracker.com/site-API. This is the API we will be using to get the player stats. Right here we get the guidelines for the API, and this right here is the endpoint we are going to be using to get the player stats. In order to get an API key, go ahead and click the Manage or Create API Keys. Then you want to click the Create Application button. Go through and fill this out, then click Create App. Once your app has been created, scroll to the bottom and you will see the Credentials and Authorization section. This is where you find your new API key. Now that we have our API key, we can start coding. I'm going to come over to my www folder, blog code, and create a Fortnite player stats folder. I'm going to open that up, and in that folder, I'm going to create a config.php file. Then I'm going to open that up with Sublime Text. The purpose of this file is to hold our API key. So I'm going to create a define here for our API key. Here is where you want to copy your API key from Fortnite Tracker. You want to copy this API key, and you'll want to paste it right here. So paste your API key right here, save it, and close it. Now that our config.php file is all set up, let's create a functions.php file right alongside the config.php. Open the functions.php file, and the first thing we're going to do here is include our config.php. This will give us access to our fn API key. This gives us access to the fn_API_ key that we defined in the config file. The purpose of this file is to include any functions that we might need for this website. In this case, the function that we want to define is our getPlayerStats function. In order to get the stats for a player, we have to use this endpoint right here. It says it's a GET request, and the platforms that it accepts are PC, Xbox, and PSN. These will be placed right here where the platform is specified, and then the Epic nickname is the nickname of the user you're looking for. I'm going to copy this and paste this right here for reference. The two things that we need for getting player stats are the platform and the Epic name. So let's add both those as parameters to this function. With those two parameters, we can build our endpoint. We can copy it all the way up to the platform, and that's the start of our endpoint. Then we're going to tack on the platform / Epic nickname. We have now built our API endpoint using the incoming platform and the incoming Epic nickname. Now we want to actually make a call to this endpoint, and to do that we're going to use curl. Here we have created a new curl object, and the first few options we set are our endpoint, which we defined right here. This contains our platform and the nickname we want to get the profile back for. Next, we pass along our API key. This is the most important part, and this is why we set up our app earlier. In order for the API to return us real data, we need to pass in a valid API key. And to do that, we pass it along in the header. To do this, we pass an array, and we specify the key trn-api-key : and then we add on our fn_API_ key right here. And that is coming from our config.php file. After this, we just need to set some general curl options and get our response back. So we've set our options, and we're going to return our response in the form of a PHP array. Whenever we call getPlayerStats, specify the platform and the nickname, we will get back a response from the API with that player's stats. So let's hop back to our Fortnite player stats folder and create our index.php file. Open that up, and the first thing we want to do in this file is include our functions.php. This gives us access to the function that we defined right here, getPlayerStats. Now we're going to define the two parameters, platform and a nickname, to pass along to our getPlayerStats function. With those defined, we can call the function. We color get player stats with our platform PC and nickname JStolpy. Now we want to dump these out on the page so we can see the stats that we're getting back. And with that, we can head over to our Fortnite_player_stats folder in our browser, and we get back our player stats, and we have dumped out the array in the browser. These are all my stats. Now that we have the stats, the hard part is done. All we have left to do is style up our website. Give it that Fortnite look and feel. We can remove our echo, print r, and die, close our PHP tag, and let's write some HTML. Once we have our basic HTML structure set up, the first thing I want to include is the Fortnite font. That is the most important part of making this thing look like a Fortnite website. To do that, I'm going to go back to my Fortnite item shop folder, and I'm going to copy this font, Burbank, big, condescended, bold, and I'm going to paste it in my Fortnite player stats folder. I don't remember exactly where I got that font file from, but if you want to get it, go to github.com/jstolpy and you can download this repo. Now that we have that font in our folder, we can apply it to this page. So our font face, we're going to call it Fortnite. That makes it easy to use anywhere. And our source is our Burbank big condensed -bold.otf file that we just copied into our folder. Now what we want to do is apply that font face to our whole body. Our whole body is going to use the Fortnite font family. And we're going to give ourselves a nice dark background. Font color will be white, and we'll give ourselves some padding. Now that the body is styled up, we can start displaying the stats inside of it. At the top, we're going to give ourselves a header. Here we have given ourselves a header. We have titled it Fortnite Player Stats. We're going to display the player, the epic nickname, and the platform for whose stats we are getting. Let's do a quick check to make sure we're on track. Hit our index.php file again, and look at that. We get our header back, and it says exactly who and what platform we are on. Underneath our heading, we want to display our first section, and our first section is going to be the lifetime stats. So here's our lifetime stats heading, a nice background color, and display the text in black. And it looks just like that. Underneath it, we need to display a list of all of the lifetime stats in the array. Inside of our player stats, lifetime stats, this is the array that contains all of the lifetime stats inside of all of our stats that we got back. So for each lifetime stats as stat, we're going to display a list item. So looping over each of these stats, our stat variable contains the key, which is like kills, wins, matches played, and the value is the number of each of those things. Real quickly, I'm going to print this out again. Back on our page, if I look for our array key lifetime stats, what we're doing is we're looping over this array right here. Each array has a key and a value. Top 5s, 142, top 3s, 127, and so on. So all these will just be displayed out under our lifetime section. Comment that out and refresh our page. Now we see all of our lifetime stats displayed out in their own little box. Now all I have to do is do the same thing for solos, duos, and squads. First, I'm going to do solos. I'm going to copy the nice heading we made for lifetime, and instead of lifetime, I'm going to put solos. Then I'm going to copy the list that we made and put that right under the new solos heading. Instead of looping over the lifetime stats, we are going to be looping over the P2 array. In this array, we have a few more things that we can display. So we're going to display out the label, we're going to display out the value, and then we're going to display out the rank. So looping over our player stats, stats P2, now we're looping over our solo stats. First, we're going to display out the label. In the solo stats array, that's the same as the key. from our lifetime array. And the value is called display value. Now if we refresh our page, you see all of our solo stats have been displayed out with their label and their value. Right under the label and the value, we want to show the rank. So the first div is just the rank. Second div is the rank value. In this case, we're going to check to see if it has a rank because some of these labels do not come with a rank. If it has a rank, we're going to display out the number sign, and then we're going to do a number format function on the rank value. That way it gets nicely comma separated. If we don't have a rank for the current stat, we're just going to display out a dash. Refresh our page, and now for each stat, there is a rank displayed at the bottom. We have a few zeros in here with rank 1s. For those instances, we're going to hide them. We don't want to just show things that have 0 value. So around the whole list item, I'm basically going to say if it has a value, display it. If it doesn't have a value, don't display it. Alright, so now our list items will only display if they have a value. Refresh our page, our zeros have gone away. Now it looks nice and clean. With our solos coded up, it makes coding up the last two very easy since it's the same array format. After solos, we're going to do duos. We copy that header and replace solos with duos, and then we're going to copy our same list from our solos, looping over player stats, except this time it's P10. And that is the only change you have to make to get to the duo stats. We refresh our page and we scroll down, we see our duo stats now pop up. And again, for each stat, we get the label, the value, and the rank for that value. Last but not least, we copy our header one more time and we name this one squads. Copy our list again, and squads is P9. Refresh it, scroll to the bottom, and under duos we see our squad stats. And that is how we create a Fortnite player stats website. We use the Fortnite API to get a player stats based on their username and the platform they are on. We got back our raw data in a nice array here, where we got all the user stats for lifetime, solos, duos, and squads. Then we give our page a nice Fortnite look and feel with the color scheme and the Fortnite font. And that is going to wrap up our video. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys want to see coded up next. I'll catch you later.